Or maybe.
Just going to mute everybody. All right, Debbie, you should be unmuted.
I'm good. Yeah, thank you. Well, welcome everybody. Kind of a light turnout tonight. Got 16 online and looks like, what do you have, Matt? About half a dozen in the room?
Yeah, like 12.
Oh, that many. Okay. I just must only be able to see the one side. So Matt asked me, we're not going to do any business tonight, but Matt just asked me to give you guys an update on John. He's doing pretty well. He's actually coming home next Saturday, the 4th. They don't feel that more therapy would benefit him at this point. I mean, we will do more therapy outpatient, but they didn't feel that inpatient therapy was really doing very much for him at this point. So he'll be coming home, and we'll have a full-time home health aide that will be starting the same day. And then, the hope is that we'll continue with either in-home or outpatient physical and occupational therapy, so he can continue to progress. So please keep your fingers crossed for him. That's it, Matt.
Thank you, Debbie. Lynn, you want to announce the judge?
Yeah, first, before I do that, I'm going to read our theme, the definition of our theme. So it's macro close-up, and the definition is the photo should be taken from a position very near the subject. Generally, this means the lens should be focused at or near its closest focusing position. The use of close-up filters, extension tubes, and macro lenses is permitted. Nature or man-made objects are also permitted. So that's the definition. And I'd like to introduce our judge tonight. It's Art Vaughan, and Art has been active in photography for over 40 years. He has been retired since October 2001. He served 9 years as president, plus 16 years as print competition chairman of the Merrimack Valley Camera Club, and has been awarded an honorary life membership in that organization. He also is a member of the Massachusetts Camera Naturalists and the Photographic Historical Society of New England. Since 2006, he's been a vice president of the New England Camera Club Council, where he's presently the NECCC print competition director and live commentator for Best of the NECCC traveling print program. At the 2016 New England Camera Club Conference, annual conference held at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, he was awarded an honorary membership in that organization. In 2019, the New England Camera Club Council honored him by dedicating their annual UMass Amherst conference to him. Art has served throughout New England and beyond as a digital image and print competition judge and lecturer. Art's photographic experience and interests include anamorphic or cinemascope photography, macro photography, stereo 3D imaging, color and black and white printmaking, and digital restoration of antique photographs, lithographs, engravings, and etchings. From the time he bought his first digital point and shoot camera, he's been involved in pop-up flash macro photography using stacked lenses, optical components salvaged from broken or junk lenses, and specialized home-built pop-up flashlight modification brackets and home-built flash diffusers. He really enjoys lens hacking and experimenting and finding ways to repurpose broken lenses and other optical components, giving them a second life as useful photographic equipment. His favorite shooting locations are along the shores of the Bay of Fundy in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, and the upper Brazos River watershed area of North and West Texas. Welcome, Art. And I guess you're showing his images, Matt?
Yeah, do you want
Are
to tell
they-
us anything about it, Art?
Well, this is a little midge on a bluet. Some friends of mine up the street said, "Hey, Art, we got bugs." So I ran right up to her house, and I had this was taken with probably my D40 and a 6.5-inch slide projector lens from an old glass lantern slide projector, reverse mounted on the front of my 105. The 105 was focused at infinity, so all the magnification comes from the lens that I put on the front of it. I'm using manual focusing by pushing the camera forward and backward.
Thank you.
This is an ant in a cemetery in Georgetown. Cemeteries are wonderful places to get macro shots. There's all kinds of nice plantings and everything there. This was taken with an 18-55 kit lens with a reversed enlarging lens mounted on the front of it. Again, we're manually focusing by pushing the camera forward and backwards. And this was illuminated with the pop-up flash with a special macro bracket rig that I put together. And I had to hold the camera upside down because this is underneath a goldenrod leaf. This was taken with with an 85 millimeter f1.8 Nikon lens on my D40. And again, everything's focused at infinity, but I've got a Raynox, I think it was taken with a Raynox 150 on the front of the 85, and I'm also using a CinemaScope anamorphic attachment made by Iskarama back in 1968 to get the CinemaScope effect. When you're using a CinemaScope lens, the image is squished horizontally, and it actually crams a frame and a half of image on a standard size frame. You have to expand it to its proper aspect ratio in the computer. This is another shot taken in Texas. This is back of my house. This is a little bit of lantana with a green link spider on it. This was taken with the, I think, the D40 and a Sigma 90 to 230 zoom lens objective reverse mounted on the front. And again, that's illuminated with pop-up flash, but it doesn't look good.
That's it?
This is, I thought it was a Sericomia fly at first, but after I did some digging around, I found out that it might actually be a leaf cutter bee. And it's on a wildflower in back of my house in Texas. And this again was taken with the CinemaScope lens. That's why you get the wide look. And again, this is illuminated with the pop-up flash, although it doesn't look it. I have a way of controlling the light using the special bracket that I have.
And that was the last of it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Art.
All right, we're going to start with our beginner group, group 1. We have 5 images. We'll do a quick flip through. And then we'll start. All right, here we go.
Okay, do you announce titles or do you do that after the fact?
I'm sorry, I missed it. What was the title? Butterfly.
Oh, okay. All right. 8 points. This is a nice shot of this butterfly. We don't actually have to see the butterfly head on. Okay, it's got its proboscis extended into the center of the flower. When I'm looking at the, I see a little box at the top that says viewing options. It's just clipping the top of the wing. I'm guessing that it's there because it looks like the boxes are coming down a little bit into the frame. It's well exposed. All right, you do have some distracting brighter elements in the background. And macro is an open category, so you could do some steps to sort of diminish the intensity of that white background. Your eye tends to float towards the brightest object in the image, so you might want to be careful of that. I like the exposure on the butterfly. It's right on, and nice detail in it. You have that bright flower, and anytime you get any shades of pink and green together, that's a very harmonious color combination.
Give me Emmy.
Okay, 9 points. This is really nice. I like the glare, the reflections on the figure. I have no idea how large the figure is, so I can't judge the degree of magnification, but it's probably pretty small and you've got in pretty close to it. I do not consider the crossed linear elements a distraction. I'm looking past them and they sort of frame the figure behind. The lighting is spot on. Reflective objects can be kind of tricky to get correct exposure, but here it looks like you've got pretty good control over the exposure, and the area of the face of the figure is very sharp. And I like the fact that the face is above the center of the image. You don't have a bullseye image, but you have the face elevated above the bullseye point, and yet it's centered left and right. And I like the arc formed by the circular element in the background.
Knothole dolphin.
Okay, 7 points. Nice texture in this. The direction of the lighting is kind of nice to reveal the texture. And this almost resembles some kind of a fish swimming to the left. Interesting texture, interesting longer composition horizontally than it is vertically. It's an extended rectangle, and I think that aspect ratio is very nice for this particular subject. I like the little tiny knothole in the top of the image there. I don't consider that a distraction. And all in all, this is kind of a nice image.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Okay, 7. I like the fact that the sharpest elements have been placed on the right-hand side of the image, and we fade away in sharpness as we go into the image and extend our view toward the left. In this particular case, I like the bright specular highlights. Okay, I do think that the closest element could be a little sharper, but it's pretty sharp as it is. I like the fact that you've got 3 larger pieces arranged vertically with a little one down below. I like the fact that the largest, sharpest elements in the picture have that reddish background behind them. And I think that makes for a pleasing composition when you move from right to left.
Eye on you.
Okay, 8 points. This is nice. I'm seeing what looks like digital noise. Okay. Do you see the small linear bar running from just below the center outside the edge of the frame to the right? There's a linear element there. Okay. And it's sort of, you can look through it and see what there is behind. That looks like an artifact produced by a problem in transferring the image from one drive to another, or from a card to another. Okay, I'd be willing to bet that when the maker took this photo, that little tiny linear bar wasn't there. And there is no fix for that other than trying to clone it away. And it's where it's in the image, it has to be judged as part of the image. But I just wanted to give you, first of all, the lighting in this is superb. The texture is superb and the composition is really nice. But the presence of that artifact really is a stick in the eye when you view this image. So you might want to, if you have the original image written on a CD or on a drive somewhere, you might want to take a look at it. This may be an issue that has popped up when you copied this thing from one drive to another or a card to another. I've lost a lot of images over the years because I had a faulty card reader, which I have since thrown away.
All right, we have 1-9, so that's going to be our first place. And we'll move on to the next competition. All right, we're in group 2 now. We have 8 images. So we need a first, second, third, and an HM. And we'll go through them real quick. All right, here we go.
Crunchy but satisfying.
Okay, 8 on this. It's a great action shot. The sharpest part of the image is the part of the arm of the mantis where you see the jagged sawtooth edge against the background. And I have a feeling that the head would have been in focus, but I think what you're getting is possibly a little bit of motion blur here. He's very busy doing what he's doing, and he's not going to sit still waiting for you to have him say cheese. It's a great shot, the great lighting, interesting composition, but you got a little bit of head motion, and I see a little bit of a double edge there in his mandibles and everything. So you might want to try I don't know if you got any other images with a higher shutter speed or not, but you're suffering a bit because of subject motion.
Male and female parts of the hibiscus.
Okay, 9 points. This is a very nice shot of this interior of this flower. Nice soft lighting. Okay, nothing harsh about it. It's well lit. but also the quality of lighting is such that it allows a great deal of detail to be visible in the central construction of the flower. And the nothing blocks up. Yes, the very deep part of the blossom gets dark, but that's as it should be in an image like this with a composition like this and a lighting direction being what it is. It has a nice three-dimensional quality because of the lighting.
Leo's eye.
Okay, 7 points. Nice composition, great texture in the fur around the eye. My cat would never sit still for something like this, so I'm envious of this shot that the maker has got. It could stand to be a bit sharper. Now, the eye itself, the brightest part of the eye is sharp, as is some of the fur below the eye, but I think if you had a little bit of a smaller lens opening, you would have a greater detail in the hair above the eye. You'd have a little bit better depth of field. Can't quack about the lighting, though. The lighting was superb.
Blue columbine.
Okay, 8 points. I like the composition in this particularly, especially the petal extended up to the top with the curled over edge extending to the left, and also the one about in the 7 o'clock position with the tip curled around to its right. I'm looking at those two petals and they frame the central element nicely. One petal looks like it got a little bug bit or something. It's got a little bit of a cleft in it, but that's not a major issue. The lighting is nice and soft, nothing harsh about it. And the purple and green color combination works very well, very harmonious.
Grandson's Legos.
Okay, 9 points. Although the Legos that are right against the bottom of the frame are soft, the other ones being so sharp makes up for that. Also, I like the fact that you've got that yellow element there. You didn't make them all yellow, or you didn't make them all gray. Also, the direction of the lighting produces shadows that really enhance the three-dimensional effect. I wouldn't change a thing with this. It's nice just the way it is.
Paper kite butterfly feeding.
Okay, 9 points. This is a very nice shot of this butterfly. I like the fact that the wings have an almost luminous quality, especially the big wing extending from the body out to the right. That's because of the bright light behind it. Also, you have the butterfly, which happens to be feeding on that cluster of very bright red flowers. And the flowers are small. They're not huge. They aren't overwhelming the butterfly. Very nice composition. Well done.
First taste of spring.
Okay, 8 points. Nice lighting in this, nice soft lighting. Lighting can make or break an image. Nice detail in this, lots of pollen. When I see pollen like this, I automatically think of June, at least up here anyway. But you don't necessarily have to see the head, but it would be nice to see the head. Yellow and purple, nice color combination. A little bit of reflection on the abdomen, on the back part of the bee. That prevents that from blocking up totally. What really makes this is the pollen that is just sticking everywhere all over this bee. It's going to have a tough time cleaning himself off.
Pretty in red.
Okay, 7 points. This would probably score higher if the sky wasn't as harsh as it is. Now, you've done a good thing and you got a low view here. You've got a low viewpoint, so you're looking up. If you had raised the camera a little bit, in other words, now maybe this thing's tall and you're shooting over your head, I have no idea. But if the camera viewpoint was raised a bit, that would bring the blossom down sufficiently to where the sky wouldn't be in the image. What I like about this is the fact that you've got those nice open blossoms. Also, you got a couple of buds in there. You got at least 3 buds that have yet to open, or maybe they're berries. I can't tell. Maybe they're buds, but the color is really great. But what's really handicapping you here is that bright sky.
All right, you got 3 9s. I need a first, second, third. I'll show them to you. You should be able to see thumbnails at the bottom. I can flip back to whichever one you want to see more.
Okay, now, do you need a selection for first, second, third, or what?
Yes,
Okay. My pick for first would be the, oh boy, it's a toss-up. I would say by its graphic nature, the Legos,
all right, so this is first.
okay?
I need a second and third.
Second would be the butterfly, and third would be that brilliant red flower. I understand the butterfly is a little more difficult to get. You can sit all day and move Legos around, but I have to go by the graphic nature of that image.
All right, and out of these 3, I need 1 for HM.
Okay. I would go, even though it's flawed in that you have subject motion, I would go with the mantis for first, the bee for second, and the flower, the floral.
I just need the 1.
third.
Just the HM. All right, we'll review this contest.
Okay.
Crunchy but satisfying, Rich Polk. Congratulations, Rich. Third place, male and female parts of the hibiscus, Walter Blitz. Congratulations, Walter. Second place, paper kite butterfly feeding, Walter Blitz. Congratulations, Walter.
All right, we're gonna move on to group 3. We have 24 images. We'll flip through them real quick. Then we need a first, second, third, 4 HMs. All right,
Okay.
here we go. Group 3.
Generator's wheel.
Okay, 7 points. Interesting shot, great composition with the circular element in the lower right and the spokes radiating out from it. I like the fact that you have one broken off spoke that's kind of nice. Lighting is good. You lose a little bit of sharpness down in the top of the hub area where the second round head is there. A little bit of a softness there, but not too terrible. Interesting combination, appealing paint, great color.
Colorful bubbles.
Okay, 8 points. Great curved rainbow effect of the two curved elements, one extending from lower right to almost the lower left and one near the top of the frame. Beautiful color combinations throughout. Don't know how the color was achieved, but that's irrelevant. You got what you got. It's absolutely fantastic. Great image.
Lady Luck.
Okay. 8 points. Nice shot of this. What's really nice about this is the fact that you have that absolutely neutral background. Lighting in this is absolutely wonderful. Don't know how the background was achieved, whether you had a background or you removed it or put something behind this particular thing to get your photograph. I do see outdoorsy reflections in the motometer or the round thing up in the upper right. So I know it was taken outdoors, but I don't know what the backdrop is. Regardless, it's a wonderful image taken just the way it is.
Not the Sahara.
Okay, 7 points. Interesting image, nice, tall, vertical. I would flip the image so that it was inverted 180 degrees. The ripples, I see what looks like a shadow effect. And normally when we view shadows, bright light tends to come from above. So if you were to flip the image, the shadows would be beneath what appear to be raised ripples. Now, depending on your viewpoint, that might work or it might not. When I'm shooting up in Nova Scotia and the light is low on the horizon, I have to be mindful of how the shadows are going to look in my finished image.
Peekaboo.
Okay, 9 points. Interesting view of this little creature. Great background. I like now, although the background on the right really gets soft, where the little critter is, it's pretty sharp. And also you have the sharper elements in the upper left, right adjacent to it. Lighting is really nice. Color is really nice on the creature itself. It has kind of a bland duotone background, yellow and sort of dull orange, dark orange, but boy, the creature really pops.
Flower.
Okay, 9 points, very, very, very colorful. Great composition. You're right in tight on the central element of this blossom. Great color combinations throughout. Really is wonderful. I like the nearly square format too, by the way. I'm seeing a lot of these in a nearly square format, and that is a very pleasing aspect ratio. Nice lighting.
Well-used light stand adapter.
Okay, 8 points. Great lighting control in this. Nice neutral background. The background doesn't clash with the subject material at all. I like the fact that you've placed that little maybe the little element that you see on the right is part of this gadget and not something that's separate and leaning up against it. Great lighting though to bring out the texture and the knurled metalwork on this little gadget.
Red butterfly.
Okay, 9 points. Great composition as far as this little thing being on what looks like an abalone shell. And nice composition, great control of the lighting. It's easy to have lighting really mess you up in something like this. What I would do is just give us a little bit of room on the left side of the frame there where you have that edge of the wing just kissing the edge of the frame there. I would give us just a little sliver of separation there.
Drops of Jupiter.
Okay, 9 points. This is really nice in that you have a great color combination. I like the appearance of the large drop hanging down with a little flash of color right at the bottom of it. Also, what's interesting is that single stalk on the left with all the drops clinging to it. It's stiff enough to remain upright despite the load of water that it's carrying. I like the splayed out elements across the top of the image there. And also this is a particular type of composition that cries out for a dark background to really make everything stand out.
Snail portrait.
Okay, 9 points, nice control of the lighting here. You've filled the frame. The aspect ratio of the image is such that the shell fits very comfortably within it. And it doesn't, to me anyway, doesn't seem like it's cramped. Okay, it seems like the perfect composition. Great lighting, nothing harsh about it. And because there's nothing harsh about it, you can see every bit of detail right into the tightest part of the spiral.
Enjoying the sun.
Okay, 8 points. This is really nice. Although the lighting is harsh, in this particular case, I believe it works because I think the shadows of the central construction of this blossom falling across the petals along the bottom enhance the composition, give it a sense of three-dimensional, a three-dimensional quality. Nice shot, great, brilliant color.
Dog bane.
Okay, 7 points. Interesting composition. I like the sharpest seed parasol or whatever you want to call it that is sort of suspended there. The others are brighter, are a little bit of a distraction. Especially the one in the lower right. As I look at the sharpest one, which is right in the center, my eye is getting pulled to that really bright one down in the lower right. Not much you could do with that other than carry tweezers with you and pluck it out and remove it, or get rid of it in Photoshop. But I think that the main center of interest is that single, very sharp one right in the center.
Blue.
Okay, 8 points. Interesting composition. They look almost like some kind of weird metallic blueberries hovering in midair. It's an interesting composition, and you seem to have some kind of almost like a vortex or something in the upper left there, just to the left of center, and that provides an anchor point for the cluster of small little gadgets, bubbles or whatever that are almost seem to be going down the drain. I like the elements along the bottom of the image, along the right-hand side of the frame. They frame that circular construction really nicely. Nice lighting in this.
Colorful blast.
Okay, 8 points. Interesting composition. Looks almost like a burst of fireworks taken with a telephoto lens. The brightest elements, larger red blobs, lose detail, and that might be due to exposure or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't there to catch the photographer capturing this image. But what I like especially are the smaller elements that line up in rows. You have smaller bubbles or whatever along the radiating lines, and they add quite a bit of interest. And this is another one where the darker elements set with the darker background set off what's going on with all the red and other brighter elements. It's nice contrast.
Don't tickle me.
Okay, 9 points. This is really nice. I like the diagonal arrangement, the nice soft lighting, the pastel colors. What's really nice about this are the two sharpest or three sharpest feathery bits extending from lower left, upper right against the softer background. I also like the little bit of brighter pale blue just to the left top center there. Really nice composition. This has a nice feel. This would make a nice large print, kind of an artsy print.
Hooked on a feeling.
Okay, 9 points. I know you're getting a lot of nines, but hey, these are nice. This is a great shot of this particular latch, this hook and eye. There's another one that will look great printed large. Nice color combination between the blue and warmer tones of the wood. And I like the fact that the paint seems and the grain of the wood seems vertical in nature, and yet the grain or whatever you want to call it on the hook runs at 90-degree angle to that. I think this is a nice feel, great lighting, and great that you're able to see this and photograph it.
Miniature cat teapot.
Okay, 8 points. This is well photographed. I have no clue how big it is, so to judge it on its macro qualities or lack thereof, I really can't say. But the lighting that you've given this is really great. Also, I like the bicolored background that you have placed this against. It sets off this particular piece very well.
Alone in a big world.
Okay, 9 points, great color, great lighting, great texture. Although the element that is pointing right at the camera has a very soft tip to it, everything else about the image just screams quality. And I actually think that that out of focus element almost gives the appearance that it's sticking out of the photograph. So I'm discounting that. It doesn't bother me. The creature itself is remarkable.
To hang it high.
Okay. 8 points, well photographed. I like the fact that the disc with the knurled pattern almost appears as if it's loose on the shaft. And if it was absolutely vertical to the shaft going through it, it would seem like an axle and a wheel pulled off a toy car. Here, it's got a tilt to it, and I think that adds a little to the composition. Like the little bit of reflection at the bottom edge of the frame. Nicely done, nice shallow depth of field renders the disc that much sharper in appearance.
Remembering.
Okay, 9 points also. What I really like about this is how sharp the sharpest elements are. Okay, everything on that star is visible, readable, as is the lettering on the memorial itself, right adjacent to the star, and beyond the star, you fall off in sharpness as you would expect at a high magnification. What's really nice about this is the blue toned reflections on the left and on the right.
Where there's smoke.
9 points. This is really nice. because of the color combinations here. You have placed the lit match low in the frame, taking advantage of that nice vapor, that blue vapor smoke or whatever extending up. It looks almost like a gas flame. And I like the way the flame itself, the orange part, has separation between the head of the match where the texture is and itself. You've got a little bit of black background visible there, but really what makes this is that nice smushy, soft extension up to the top of the frame there.
Perfect flower.
Okay, 8 points. Nice lighting on this, great texture. I like the direction from which you photographed this, or the way you had the flower turn. You see the two prominent petals on the lower part there with the gap between them, showing the central portion of the flower extending up between them. And I think if you had turned the flower one way or the other, so you had just one big petal visible, and then the top of the flower, you would have lost some of your composition.
Clematis.
Okay, 7 points. Lighting on this is superb. I like the detail visible in the very center, but I think here I really want to see a little bit more depth of field. And you've got no problem with your lighting whatsoever. That's controlled nicely. Nice detail in the fuzz, but I think what's happening is that brighter area at the top being so soft and out of focus the way it is, your eyes go up there more so than going out to the bottom of the image where it's out of focus down there. But I would try to, next time you shoot this, if you do have the occasion to, try using a smaller lens opening and boost the depth of field a bit.
Pocket change.
Okay. 8 points. This is really nice detail. Not all coin shots have to show spiffy, brilliant, uncirculated coinage. This is really nice because you've got the central coin with the numeral 5 on it in its entirety, framed by bits of other coinage. And I like the combination. Again, this is one where if you could rotate the coin so that the 5 is inverted, and then flip the whole image, I'm seeing the shadow on the top side of the coin there. And it would be better if the shadow was on the bottom side, but the coin rotated so that it looked about like it is here. Excuse me.
Okay, we have 10 nines, so we need a first, second, third out of this group.
So it looks like you might get all your first, second, and third and HMs just from them.
This is image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th image. I can go back to whatever you want to see again.
Okay. You want to go first, second, third, then the HMs?
Yes,
Okay, first is the match.
this one?
Yep.
All right.
Okay. The second one is this one right here.
This one?
Yep, that one there, whatever it is with the tentacles.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, run back between them again. Keep going. Okay, third is going to be the feathers.
This one?
That's right.
All right. And then I need you to drop 3.
Okay, now you need what, 4 HMs?
Correct.
Okay, the star,
This one?
Yep.
All right.
the hook, and the eye there, that one right there, that's one.
All right. 2 more.
Okay. And that's, whoops, back up. That's one.
All right. 1 more.
Yep. The nautilus shell.
This one?
Yep.
All right. All right. We'll review this contest. And then after we review the context, we'll take a 5-minute break here at the church.
Okay.
At wherever we're at, library. We're at a library.
Drops of Jupiter, Rose Scudari. Congratulations, Rose.
I blame Linda. She called it a church earlier.
Snail Portrait, Terry Donofrio. Congratulations, Terry. Hooked on a Feeling, Melinda Matlock. Congratulations, Melinda. Remembering, Fred Appelian. Congratulations, Fred. Third place. Don't Tickle Me, Matthew Rink. Congratulations, Matt. Second place. Alone in a Big World, Kevin Volk. Congratulations, Kevin.
All right, you guys can unmute yourselves in 2 seconds. And we're gonna take a 5-minute break. You should be able to unmute yourselves at will.
Hey, everybody, it's Debbie. Level 3,
And I'm gonna
Great,
mute
we got-
everybody.
Okay.
Okay, Lynn, you should be unmuted.
Okay, I
Uh,
am.
Art, you should be unmuted.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna flip through real quick and then we'll start. This is group 4, the salon group. There's 22 images. So we need a first, second, third, 4 HMs. All right, here we go.
Okay,
Purple clematis.
okay. 8 points. This is really nice. I like the, it looks like there's been something done to this in the way of texturizing or something, but I think that comes across very well. If you didn't do it, then this is a very attractive flower, but it looks like some enhancement was done, tastefully done. What's great about this is the soft lighting, the composition with the central green element just above, not quite bullseye. Lighting is superb. The detail in this is fantastic. Great color combination, pink or purple and green. Nicely done.
Floating barnacles.
Okay, 8 points. Interesting composition with a diagonal log. The barnacles themselves are quite colorful with the orange bits there, and the white portions are not blown out. There's detail visible throughout. I like the color of the water, and I like the fact you've given us more water at the top than you have at the bottom.
Hoverfly eye.
Okay, 9 points. What's really nice about this is of course, it's sharp, very sharp, razor sharp. But what's really nice is the lighting gives us a sense of shape and contour to the globular look of the eye. You have the shadow, diagonal shadow across the central portion of it, but you have brighter light at the bottom, and also it gets light at the top. The sense of shape and contour here is really fantastic, and the sharp, jagged, pointy bits to the right of the eye against the dark background, the crevice there in the flies behind the head is really nice.
Spring has sprung.
Okay, 7 points. Nice shot. I like the fact that you've given us the heavyweight, the heaviest portion of the composition is the larger leaf, and you've got that anchored down in the lower left corner, and then you go into the smaller leaves as you extend up into the image. Placement of the sprig of leaves is great within the frame. Nice composition. I like the illuminated white fuzzy bits along the bottom edge of the leaves. Nicely done.
Golden silk orb weaver.
Okay, 8 points. Nicely done also. You've given us the entire spider. You have not clipped the legs. We don't have to see it upright. It's sort of facing down in the image towards the lower right-hand corner. That's nice. The background, although it is a bit busy, is sufficiently out of focus that the sharpness of the spider is actually enhanced. Nice lighting in this. The background is not so bright that it takes away from the subject, and you've got nice bits of web giving some specular highlight along their length.
Poinsettia.
Okay, 8 points. Really nice lighting in this. Nice contrast, gives a great sense of depth. The color combination is great. I like the green against the red. That's really nice. What I also like are the curved bits of reddish stalk or whatever, the stems, the little stems that are supporting the green parts that you see. They curve every which way. Nice detail in there. Really nice image.
What was the score?
8.
Just one of many millions.
Okay, 8 points. Nice shot, looking straight down on this guy. You do have a little bit of a distract element there, but the bright floral bit down in the background there. You've got a nice vertical composition. I would give us just a little bit more room at the bottom. I'm seeing a bar down the bottom. Maybe the whole image is there below the wing, but the bottom of my image here is just clipping that a little bit. It may be in your screen. You're actually seeing it. But right here, the main distraction is that bright element there. Although the insect itself is rendered in great detail.
Resting.
Okay, 9 points. Nice neutral background, completely separates the sharp subject, isolates it, makes it almost jump off my screen. The fly itself is extremely sharp, nice control of lighting, nothing harsh about it. Fantastic detail, fantastic color, great composition with the point of that leaf extending not quite into the out the right hand lower right hand corner of the image. I like the also the reddish pinkish tip on the end of that leaf.
Splish splash.
Okay, 8 points. Interesting shot of this droplet image. I like the floating globular bits just to the right of the central element there that's leaping up off the surface. Also, I like the linear reflections down the bottom of the image. Also, where you have the central column of what looks like crystalline water standing up there, the flat disc flaring out from it is tilted, and I think that's a nice effect. It's tilted sort of from lower left to upper right, and I think if it was just flat across, it would not create as nice a composition as what you have here.
Orchid.
Okay, 7 points. Nice shot, nice, very sharp central element to this orchid. But you fall off in sharpness quite a bit, but I think that was deliberate. You probably chose a shallow depth of field to enhance the sharpness of that central element. The majority of the image seems to be a little hot. I would tone down the exposure somewhat.
Sunflower.
Okay. 8 points. We don't have to see the entire blossom. Okay, what you've done is you've taken the circular central portion of the sunflower and brought it down into the biased it toward the left corner of the image, which I think makes for a dynamic composition. I like the lighting on this. Nice shape around the outer portion of the central circular element. I like the darker recesses of the flower around that circular portion. Gives it a nice three-dimensional quality.
Blue poppy.
Okay. 8 points. Probably would have got a 9, except for that central element that's extending way out to the above the background of the it's the closest element to us in the blossom, where the tentacle with the ghost shrimp or whatever it was in the one of the previous categories. I found that tentacle not to be obtrusive. Here I think that it is a little bit distracting, this central element that's out of focus. Wonderful pastel colors and great detail.
Bougainvillea flower.
Okay, 8 points. Nice soft lighting in this. Great detail in the floral elements. I'm not bothered by that little bit of red stem with nothing on the end of it sticking down from the upper right. That's superfluous. It doesn't seem to bother me at all. I like the fact that the blossoms themselves are against that dark background and are not against a portion of the lighter background you see extending into the right portion of the frame there.
Black swallowtail on thistle.
9 points. This is really nice. The blossom and the butterfly fill the frame well without feeling cramped at all. Wonderful, soft, smushy background, isolates the subject well, and also makes the sharpness of the subject appear that much sharper by comparison. Great lighting, great color.
Nature's patterns.
Okay, 9 points. I think this is really nice. It was very similar to the one we saw earlier. Here, I think the central element with all those small bits arranged in a sort of circular rows forming that nice pattern, they are razor sharp. Also, the purplish, brighter elements in the center have a great deal of detail. They look like an array of tiny little feathers. And I think this is a brilliant composition, well lit. Maybe it was lit in such a way to enhance the surface texture of what you've got here. Some folks might feel that the top of the frame is cramped a little bit there, but I think it's that's not a showstopper. I think it's fine just the way it is.
Newly emerged wasp on succumbed hornworm host.
Okay, 9 points. This is really, really nice. I like the drip hanging down there. That's nice. We do not have to see the proboscis or anything or whatever the insect is doing to reach the nectar down inside the blossom. I think that's just fine. Very colorful insect. Also, I like the appearance of the wings here. They look like they made of celluloid. That's the way they are made. It's but the lighting here doesn't blow anything out, although they blossom in the upper left hand portion of in other words, the left side of the blossom does fade off in sharpness because of the depth of field of the what you're using here. I think that that does not impact the image at all. The lighting here is superb, and I like the fact that you can see down in half a dozen of the little separate blossoms there. They look like little cylinders, sort of like the eggs that hatch the aliens in the movie Alien.
Pine cone with sap.
Okay, 8 points. Nice shot of this pine cone, like the sappy look. Great lighting direction to enhance detail. I like the 3 points hanging down. This is a serious close-up, either that or you've got a monstrously large pine cone. But the lighting in here really makes this great texture. I can almost feel the stickiness of the sap, and I'm surprised there's not a bug stuck in it somewhere.
Afternoon meal.
Okay, 9 points. Nice shot of this mantis. He looks like he's looking straight at the photographer, but it's probably just totally absorbed and crunching up that butterfly. I guess they can eat monarchs. Normally, birds won't touch a monarch, but they're fair game for mantises. I like the fact that he's got his claw hooked over the wing there. Nice shot, nice lighting.
Fractured rainbow, sorry.
Okay, 9 points. This is really nice. I do get the fractured rainbow effect. You could actually make a case for putting on a stronger lens and getting really in close to that rainbow and just catch the larger central portion of, in other words, isolate that single tall crystal, sort of pluck it out photographically from the rest of the array. Although here you've given us the entire crystalline cluster, and I think that the composition is great. The lighting must be critical in here to produce that rainbow effect. Really nice.
Botanical detail.
Okay, 8 points, nice detailed shot of this flower. I would, there are two ways of handling this. You could back up a little bit, give us a little more room around the flower, or zero in dramatically, and by doing so, you move in to within the central portion of the flower and eliminating its frilly edge. But here the frilly edge seems to be part of the composition, so you left it in there. Great lighting to enhance detail, and you actually produce texture in the blossom itself by the direction of the lighting you've got.
Sweetbriar butterfly.
Okay, 7 points. I think this would be a lot better if the exposure was just cut back a little bit. What I like is the butterfly place where it is gives the effect that you're almost looking through clear areas of the wing. I don't know whether the wings are actually have clear portions or not, but the illusion is that you are looking through clear areas of the wing to the background beyond. It may be they are clear. I do not know. I don't know the species, but I do think that the exposure is a bit hot. Cut it back. You have a nice sharp butterfly and a nice soft background, and that enhances the sharpness of the butterfly.
Mum.
Okay, 8 points. Nice detail in this mum. You've given us a great view of the central portion of the blossom. You could actually crop in, I say crop, I mean photographically crop, get in tighter, get us a tighter view. But on the other hand, the pleasing aspect of this is the way the light plays across the petals. And I like the effect of the lighting, giving shape and contour to the petals on the left and also out near the right edge of the image. And also it definitely enhances the cup shape of the central area of this blossom. Great detail, great lighting, great color.
Okay, we have 7 9s, so we need first, second, third out of this. You should be able to see thumbnails at the bottom. So we have image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th.
Okay. First place in would be the fly on the left, all the way down to the first one that you showed.
This one
That one there.
or this one?
This one would be second. Okay, so you got
Okay.
first, and then second.
First,
Second.
second. Okay, I need third.
Okay, and you need a third.
Correct.
Okay. It's going to be the butterfly.
This butterfly.
That's right.
Okay. So the rest of them are HMs.
How many HMs?
4.
4. Oh, okay.
So that worked out well for you.
Well, that's easy.
All right, we're going to review this contest, and then I have one more task for you, and that's the best of show.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Honorable mention. Nature's Patterns, Sue Fielder. Congratulations, Sue. Newly emerged wasp on succumbed hornworm host. Me, Lynn Padway. Afternoon meal, Robert Zerfla. Congratulations, Robert. Fractured rainbow in quartz crystal, Stan Pepka. Congratulations, Stan. Third place, Black Swallowtail on Thistle, Tam Stewart. Congratulations, Tam. Second place, Resting, Stan Pepka. Congratulations, Stan.
All right, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna put together the best of show and then you'll have to pick one. All right. We have the 4 first place images from the 4 groups. I'll bring up the thumbnails and we can go through them as much as you need. You need to pick a best of show out of these 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the match.
This image?
Yep.
All right.
It was a close call though between it and the fly. If the fly was on fire, it would have won.
We'll keep that in mind for next time. Would that make it a firefly?
No.
All right, we're gonna review this contest.
Hoverfly Eye, Tam Stewart. Tam, would you like to tell us about your fly?
Let me find your Tam now, unmute you.
Congratulations.
You should be unmuted, Tam.
There we go.
There we go. We can hear you.
This is actually a focus stack shot, and it's at 15 times magnification. I took it in my basement, and the equipment I used was an old Canon 300 f4 standard lens. And with a, let's see, a 20 millimeter microscope objective in front of it, which gave me 15 times magnification. Lighting is always very difficult with these shots, I find. So I was quite lucky here. I don't remember how many shots I took in this, but the depth of focus is about 9 microns at this magnification. So quite a few.
Are you using constant lighting or strobes?
It's I use LEDs, has constant lighting.
Very nice.
Congratulations. Grandson's Legos, Rich Polk. Congratulations, Rich. I don't think he's here to tell us about his image.
He's here.
Oh, he is?
He's gonna come tell us about it.
Oh, I thought he was in California.
He has a jet.
Came home yesterday.
Hi, Rich.
So I spent about a
Congratulations.
day photographing the same bricks in different arrangements under my electronic flash studio lighting with a softbox. This is the one I chose mostly for the deep shadows.
Very nice. Congratulations. Gimme Emmy, Zena Motley Weaver. Congratulations, Zena. Want to tell us about your image?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So, someone close to me won an Emmy Award, and I always wanted to take a close up of it. And I used my Samsung phone to take this one. And I used for the lighting. I just used the lamp.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Best to show. Where there is smoke, Rose Scudari. Congratulations, Rose. Want to tell us about it?
Yes, I've been working up in my studio that I finally set up, just practicing different things, different lighting. And this was shot with a 50mm lens and stacked extension tubes. And it took a lot of shots to get that smoke exactly how I wanted. And I knew that the flame still had to be there, but it also had to be partially extinguished for it to have smoke. And I enjoyed it. It was a learning experience on what not only I was capable of, but what I could figure out on my own without somebody holding my hand with studio lighting.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And Art?
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, you got some nice stuff there. You guys are always very challenging. I enjoy seeing what other clubs are doing, and this club in particular. Every time I walk away from one of these compositions, I see images that inspire me to try stuff. I'm not a smoker, but I would like to try that match trick. That's really pretty good. And also, I envy anybody that can do image stacking. I make a mess of it every time, so I will leave that to the experts. I will have to try to struggle through with one shot and put up with shallow depth of field.
Well, thank you, Art. It was great having you, and thank you for your comments and great consistent judging. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Art.
It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to see you again, Art.
Okay, well, that's good. I'll be glad when I can get back down to Texas and maybe put on one of these Zoom things from down there where it's warm.
All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Art. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Good night, Lynn.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Rose, feel better.
Yep.
Thank you.